Hello, I'm going to demonstrate how to hang the metal print that you just received. So you've taken it out of the box, you've removed the plastic, and the print should come with a cleat on the back and a wire. I'm going to illustrate how to hang this with the cleat. So you want to carefully take it off. You usually tape it onto the back, main lab that I use. But you can use a wire, and you would just put hooks on the wall like a traditional picture and hang it accordingly. About the only negative is that it hangs a little bit like a regular picture, so it's not as flush to the wall. So for that reason I prefer to use the metal cleat, and I'll show how to do that. So the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out where on the wall you want to hang your picture. So what I recommend is, depending on the size of your print, you will probably need two people. I can get a pen here. So a sticky note works well. So I have my cat here. Alright. Okay, so you want to figure out where about you want to hang this. So what I would do, I would hold this up. Let's say that's about where you want it. Put the sticky note on the wall and figure out the height exactly. Maybe have someone stand back, and you'll put a little mark on the sticky note, and that will protect your wall from being all marked up. And you want to rest it on the floor carefully, not like that. Put like a blanket down, something, because if you slam the metal down on a hard floor like a ceramic floor, it can chip the edge, and that's not good. So that's going to be your mark. That's the top of your picture. So the cleat comes in a little bag. Some of them have a bubble level, some of them do not. I don't think they're including, oh okay, this one does. These are really nice because they have a bubble level. But if you don't have a bubble level, you'll just get a little level and put it on here. And what you'll do, let me see what, Shiny Prints, the, let me just see here, what is it, 4 inches, okay. So your holes will be 4 inches down from that line, and you need it level. So about right here is where the holes will be. So you'll put this about centered to where you wanted it, and then measure again so that the holes are 4 inches down from that line. And then the bubble level will help you to know that this is level or not. And you want to be careful. Well, they're using a blue one now. It used to be green. The green was a lot easier to see. You don't need studs, so I would choose that one, and then I would use the outside ones. If you have a big picture, it might be a longer cleat. You can use 3 if you want to. So there's my holes. The picture will rest down in here. So I will zoom in now to show you that a little bit more closely. Okay, so to hang the cleat, it does come with some drywall screws. You can use that. You probably don't even need to use the anchors. But what I prefer to use, I just go to Home Depot and I buy the little kits that have these little white inserts that go into the wall, and then the screws. So I take the screw and I line it up in the center of my mark, and they have to be right on because they're already spaced. And I just hammer it into the drywall and pull it out carefully. You're going to create some dust, so if you have something nice below, you just want to cover it or move it. And then it's just easier to make a little hole like that. Might have to unscrew these a little bit. And then I can gently hammer these plastic inserts in to the wall like that. And the plastic inserts are going to hold the screws. So when you're hanging the cleat, you probably won't be able to see this, the gap is going to go towards the wall, and all the ridges on this and the level, that's going to be facing you. So the gap will be right here, and that's what the picture will set in. So you can just get them started here. You can use an electric screwdriver, but this is just as easy. It doesn't take that much. And this is why you have to get those holes exact when you're putting them in. As far as side to side, because they have to line up because you've already made the holes, and there's no wiggle room right to left. There is wiggle room up and down, so maybe a quarter of an inch either direction if you weren't to get it level, but you want to get it as level as possible, because if the cleat is level, the picture should, on the back, have the frame perfectly level when they tape it on there. They use a double-sided, really aggressive metal tape. It would require destroying the picture to get it off. So it's very stable. Before I tighten it all the way down, again, I want to make sure it's as level as possible. So I'm looking at bubble level, and I'll go ahead and screw these down. You don't want to overdo it, because you might strip it out and then you don't have the benefit of the secure attachment. But the prints, even a large 40 by 60, probably weighs at most 15 pounds. It's between 10 and 15 pounds, and the weight is straight down. So these are very sturdy. I don't think you'll ever pull it out of the wall. So that's all you have to do for the cleat. And now, depending on where the print comes from, some of them use these little bumpers. So if they're on there, you just want to pop those off. They do protect the wall from getting marks on it, but they're just enough of a raised edge that it will prevent sometimes the print from resting down in the track. So I'm going to take those off, and a lot of times you might have to take this off as well. It depends on how much that bumps out. But I'm going to try to hang this one without it. So you probably want two people on a big print, one on that side, and you want to go a little bit above there. You can kind of hold it like this with your hand and feel. That's the edge right here. This is the edge that you're going to want to rest down inside here. So you don't want to move it around a whole lot on the wall, because this metal will scratch your paint. But you want to generally get the idea of, okay, let's say here's middle, that's middle. I have my finger back there, so as I lower it, I can kind of feel the track. You gently push it against the wall, and then you make sure it's in there. You don't let go until you know it's in there. And this one is in there, and that's it. The track does allow you, the French cleat does allow you to move it right to left a little bit in case you didn't get it quite centered. So that's an advantage. If it's a short cleat, you don't want to go too far right or left, or it could tip. The longer ones are for the bigger prints, and you have a little bit more leeway. This might rest a little more flush if I were to remove the wire from the back. And to do that, all you have to do is take wire cutters, cut the wire in the middle, and then unscrew the two ends. And then once the picture's on the wall, a little bit of Windex if you need to. If you have like fingerprints from holding it, you could use gloves too. But if you have fingerprints, things like that, just gently with a soft cotton or microfiber cloth, just go over the area, like a fingerprint, whatever. You can usually see from different angles, anything like that. And you might want to just make sure you hold it so that it doesn't fall off by pushing up. Just clean the spots, and you should be good to go. And from there, really you don't need any other maintenance. So I hope that helped, and thank you for the purchase.